And we're back for the home opener of your Chugiak Chinooks. That beautiful national anthem is brought to you by the Chugiak Girls Choir.
We honor the memory of
Tonight's game, home opener of the 2017 ABL season for your Chinooks, is sponsored by the Chugiak Volunteer Fire Department. Chugiak Volunteer Fire Department has been in existence since 1952 and provides fire protection and emergency medical services to an area of approximately 50 square miles. They respond to nearly 800 calls per year and are split between 5 stations. The fire department has been a loyal supporter of Chinooks baseball for the past few seasons. And speaking of the Chugiak Fire Department, on the hill for the first pitch is Sparky, the mascot.
Throwing out the first pitch, our good friend, Sparky, the fire dog.
Sparky, the fire dog, as they call it, on the hill for the Chinooks for the first pitch of this game. And that's in there. Hits the dirt, but we're going to call it a strike anyway.
He's a dog.
The fire department today gave several of our your Chinook players CPR certified CPR class to our pitchers the last 2 years. And we want to thank them for their outstanding service to the community, for their support of the Chugiak Chinooks. We want to thank the Chugiak Volunteer Fire Department for keeping us and our community safe and for your support of the Chugiak Supports Baseball. On the hill tonight for the Chugiak Chinooks is pitcher Daniel Sweeney, the 6'4" right-hander from East Tennessee State University. His first time on the hill. Tonight, your Chinooks face the Matsu Miners. You saw them last night at Matsu at Herman Brothers Field. Tonight we're at Lee Jordan Field. The Miners come into this game 1-0, beating your Chinooks last night 10-4. Chinooks come into this game 0-1, losing 10-4 last night. The starting lineup for the Matsu Miners is very similar to last night. Top of the lineup, center fielder Quinn Cotton from Grand Canyon University. Batting behind him in the 2-hole, the shortstop Austin Bull, also of Grand Canyon University. In the third slot, the power-hitting first baseman from Gonzaga, Nick Brooks. In the cleanup hole is Preston Pavlica, the right fielder, also out of Grand Canyon University. Batting fifth is the DH, Brandon Benefield.
The food is so good, the prices are reasonable, the proceeds go to a good cause, helping to bring these fine young ball players to Alaska.
Sorry about that. A little technical difficulties to start this game. Coming to the plate for the Miners is the left fielder Quinn Cotton. Quinn Cotton at Grand Canyon University College. And there's a ball one down low for Sweeney for his first pitch. On deck for the Miners is Austin Bull, the shortstop, also out of Grand Canyon. Here comes the pitch from Sweeney. And Sweeney is going to hit that to a line out to Mitchie. And that's going to make it 1 out. For your Chinooks, up to bat for the Miners is Austin Bull. Like I said, the shortstop from Grand Canyon. And there's a ball one down low to Bull. Sweeney in there for strike one. Here comes Sweeney, the third pitch of the at-bat. And Bull's going to tap that to Mixon over at first, and Mixon is going to take that away for out number 2 of this inning. And here comes Nick Brooks, the power-hitting first baseman out of Gonzaga University. He was trouble last night for the pitching staff here at Chinooks. So far, Sweeney is off to a good start.
Number 32, Nick Brooks.
Sweeney only 5 pitches so far through this 2/3 of the first inning. 2 balls, 3 strikes. Here comes Sweeney's first pitch to Brooks. And he's going to miss up high for ball 1. Here goes Sweeney with the pitch. Sweeney swinging and a miss by Brooks. In there for strike number 2. And here comes Sweeney, the 1-1 pitch. That's going to be stroked to Mixon. That's going to pass in the right field. But Brooks slips on the way to first. Gilcrease in the right. Brooks is going to try to dig for second. And that's going to be a sliding double for their Nick Brooks, the first baseman again, Zaga. It looked like Mixon was able to get that, but it went right by him down the right field line, and Gilcrease did the best he could to get that in. And Brooks is going to be the first runner on for the Miners for a double, and that's going to put Preston Pavlica, the right fielder, in a chance for an RBI with just a single.
Batting for the Miners, number 10.
Here comes Preston Pavlica, like I was saying. Pavlica, Grand Canyon University, native from Las Vegas, Nevada. Here's the pitch from Sweeney, 2 outs. There's a strike 1. Sweeney, 2 outs here in the top of the first. 0-1 pitch. Here it comes. Misses outside for ball number 1. Going to take the count even to 1-1. 2 outs here. One pitch for Sweeney. And the pitch. Strike 2 in there on the outside corner. Sweeney hoping to get out of this with just that double by Brooks. 1-2 pitch, 2 outs, top of the first. Sweeney looks in. Here comes the pitch. And that's going to be fouled off to the right side by Pavlica.
And that foul ball sponsored by the Chinook Shack.
Brooks takes his lead at second. Miners hoping to get off to a quick start, take some of that offense that they had last night and put into this game. So far, we've seen it work so far with the Brooks double. Here comes the pitch by Sweeney. That's going to be stroked to Schmitz at short, over to Mixon at first, and that's going to do it. And the Chinooks get out of the first inning with only allowing a double. And when we come back, the Chinooks are going to have their first at-bats at Lee Jordan Field. And we're back here in the bottom of the first. On the mound for the Matsu Miners is Calvin LeBrun, the left-hander out of Gonzaga. Micah Prees leading off for your Chinooks in the bottom half of the first. On deck is Levi Gilcrease out of Baylor. And in the hole, Alex Karate from Mercer University. Here comes the first pitch from LeBrun. And that's going to be in there for strike one. Behind Prees is Gilcrease, Karate at the third hole. Hayden Mixon in the cleanup spot. Brandon Michi at the fifth hole. And sixth hole is Preston White. And the ump's going to say Prees went for strike two. In the seventh spot is the catcher, Justin Gomez. Hitting eighth is Luke Coffey at the hot corner. And ninth is Alex Schmitz playing shortstop. Here comes LeBrun, the 0-2 pitch. And that's going to be Prees, caught no looking.
Coming to the plate for your Chinooks, number 10, Levi Gilcrease.
Coming to the plate for the Chinooks, the outfielder out of Baylor, Levi Gilcrease, stands in against the left-handed thrower, LeBrun. Here comes the throw, and Gilcrease is going to hit that to second. And Chinea is going to throw that, and that's going to be quick out for the second out of the inning. That was over to Brandon Chinea at second base, thrown over to Brooks at first. And here comes Alex Karate, the Mercer University Bear, hoping to start some two-out magic for your Chinooks. And Karate's going to take that outside for ball two. Here comes LeBrun. 2-0 pitch, 2 outs. Karate's going to take that right down the middle for strike number one. In the squat for the Miners is Zach Shardley out of USC. He was there last night as well. 2-1 pitch from LeBrun. And that's going to be curved inside for strike two. 2-2 count now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Two-two pitch from LeBrun. And Karate's going to hit that out to left field. And under it is Cotton. And Cotton's going to put that away. And the Chinooks go down 1-2-3. And we come back. The Miners are going to start the second half. Now batting for the Miners in the top half of the second. Blake Benefield, the DH, out of Middle Tennessee. Sweeney in the top half of the first only gave up 1 hit. Here comes the pitch. That's down low for ball one. Sweeney got through the first, allowing only 6 pitches. Hoping to do the same this inning. 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. That's going to be down low. Just misses for ball 2. Beautiful weather out here for the Chinooks home opener. Here comes Sweeney, the 2-0 pitch. No outs. And swing. Going to miss by Benefield. On deck for the Miners is Justin Ammons, the center fielder. And in the hole is Oscar Marchena, the third baseman. Out of UMass Lowell. 2-1 pitch by Sweeney. And that's going to miss to make it a hitter's count of 3-1. Here comes the pitch from Sweeney. And that's going to be fouled off to make it a full count now.
And that foul ball sponsored by Friends of Dan Sattler.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch from Sweeney. That's going to be hit. Over to Coffey on third. Throw to Mixon at first. And call's going to be safe as the throw is a little too high for Mixon to bring down. And the leadoff hitter for the Miners are going to be able to get on here as Justin Ammons is going to come up here with the runner on first. Nobody out.
Batting for the Miners, number 2, Justin Ammons.
Here comes Sweeney. One count here. That's going to miss outside for ball 2. Pitch from Sweeney. He's going to look over to Benefield at first. Nothing going on over there. Nobody out here in the top half of the second. Only 1 hit so far. That was an error by Coffey on that throw. Benefield was able to beat out. Throw to Ammons. Miss on the outside. Another hitter's count for 3-1. Three-one count. Sweeney to work with. Rudder on first. Ammons at the plate. And the pitch. That's going to be ripped to the short Schmidt. Schmitz over to Mitchie. Mitchie to Mixon. And Ammons is going to run out that infield single to take away the double play.
Batting for the Miners, number 8, Oscar Marchena.
Up to bat now, Oscar Marchena, the third baseman out of UMass. On deck is the catcher, Zach Shardley. Sweeney throws over to Ammons at first. C slides back safely. First pitch to Marchena. And that misses down low for ball one. In the squat tonight, your Chugiak Chinooks is Justin Gomez, the power hitting catcher from Azusa Pacific University. He's going to be giving the calls to Sweeney on the mound. That's going to be a timeout called by Marchena. Ammons takes the lead at first. Sweeney looks over again. Throws back again over to Mixon. Nothing going on. Ammons slides safely back. Sweeney, the 1-0 count. And Ammons is going, and that's going to be foul tipped to the backstop. Make it a 1-1 count. Another throw over to Ammons. Ammons was swinging. One out here in the top half of the second. Ammons takes the lead at first. Sweeney looks in, 1-1 count. Pitch to Marchena. Marchena's going to hit that to Mitchie. Mitchie's going to get that, throw to Mixon, and that's an hour throw. Ammons. And Ammons is going to be granted second. As Mitchie was able to get that. He got the line out for Marchena, but could not complete the double play as he almost had Ammons picked off.
Batting for the Miners, number 14.
Up to the plate here for the Miners, number 14. Zach Shardley, the catcher out of USC. And Ammons is going to come all the way over to third. Here comes the pitch to Shardley. That's going to be fouled off the third base side. Gonna have to step away for a second as we're experiencing a little technical difficulties on the score sheet. Be right back, folks. And we're back, folks. I want to apologize for that delay. A new scoring system was implemented, and we had some technical difficulties. And in this league, we do have to make sure the stats are as accurate as we can possibly have for this league. Coming in to pitch for your Chinooks is Scott Smith, a hard-thrown right-hander out of Savannah State University. This is his first appearance of the Chinooks season. Daniel Sweeney exits to 3 innings pitched, 3 hits to his name, 3 errors for the Chinooks during that time. Up to bat is the catcher, Zach Shardley, out of USC. There's a ball 1 high. We are officially back here in the bottom of the fourth. Mike Caprice with the leadoff single to right. Levi Gilcrease up to bat here. 1-0 pitch. 0-1 pitch for Gilcrease. He's going to hit that to the second. There's Shania. Shania over to first to Brooks. And that's going to be an out of first.
Now batting for your Chinooks, number 17, Alex Crotty.
Alex Crotty up to the plate. Crotty takes one high for ball one. One out here in the bottom of the fourth. Taking down low for ball two. Taken outside for ball three for Crotty. Crotty from Mercer University. I do apologize for the delays. As I said before, with the new scoring system, there are times when I will have to be muting the mic. As I do apologize for that. 3-0 pitch. Gets it for a strike one on the inside. On deck for your Chinooks is Hayden Mixon, first baseman. LeBron into his windup, the pitch. And that's going to be a rifle out to left center. And they're sending in Prees, and Prees is going to score for the Chinooks. We have a tie game as Karate gets an RBI single to left field. Chinooks on the board.
Now batting for your Chinooks, number 21, Hayden Mixon.
We're back, folks, in the top half of the fifth. Quinn Cotton up, the left fielder out of GCU. We're joined by your starting pitcher for the opening game yesterday, Noah Jones. Noah, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. It's looking like
And
a
there's
pretty
a
good ball game
blast
here.
by Cotton, and that one's going to drop. And behind Prees, and Cotton's going to dig for third, and he's going to slide in safely with a triple. And a leadoff triple.
Not the kind of start that you're looking for here from
No, I might
Smith.
have to ask you to leave after that start. No, just kidding. So you pitched the opening game. How was that? How's your arm feel? How was it out there?
Arm wasn't 100% yesterday, but managed to battle through the first 3 innings. That was kind of all that we had as our original schedule. But it's fun. This league is it's a blast out here. A lot of really good talent to be able to come up here and face.
So this isn't your first Athletes in Action team you played for, correct?
This is not.
Where were you last summer?
Last summer I was up in Xenia, Ohio, with the Scouts.
Xenia, how'd your season go?
We did really well. We ended up with 28 wins, the most in AIA history for baseball, actually.
28 wins. So that's the most. So you're looking to at least get 29 this season.
We're looking to break that this year up here in the Alaskan
break
League.
that by a good 10 wins. That would be the best case scenario. And there's a shot down in the left field, and that's going to score Cotton. That was from Austin Bull. That's another GCU teammate scoring a GCU teammate. As he's going to have a single, and that's going to score in Cotton for an RBI single. Now tell me, what's the big difference? Now, obviously, you've only played one game. What's the big difference between the two leagues that you've seen at least?
Guys are a little bit bigger here.
And in what way? Height, weight? You got to describe that for us.
They're just about every aspect that you could think of a bigger height-wise. Everybody seems to be 6 foot to 6'7", as Smith is here on the mound. And even weight-wise, everybody's very filled out. It looks like a lot of these guys who are possible draft candidates here in the next few weeks. They just seem to be a whole lot more well-rounded in their game as well. The guys aren't afraid of seeing velocity up here.
And that's been something I've seen in the first few games here. And that's what I've heard. It's really a pitcher's league.
Yes, it
and
very
would you
much
say the
is.
same at Xenia?
Yeah, it seemed to be out there actually as well. Games were pretty low scoring. They'd be a lot of 3-2 games, a lot of one-run games. I remember there was quite a few 2-0 ball games up there that we would be in that would be real tight ones down to the wire.
Now, take it through for our viewers here. When you're up on the mound, you're being thrown in. I talked a lot about in the exhibition as Smith throws back over to Bull at first. I talked a lot about how it's very hard for you guys, or at least I assume. Take us through the process of that chemistry building, maybe in Xenia and here for the Chinooks. I mean, you just met these guys 6 days ago. How does that process go about building that repertoire with each other?
Yeah, so chemistry building it's really tough for these leagues. You get thrown into just a random mix of guys that are all across the country. They have all kinds of different interests. The only real big there's two big things that Athletes in Action does that makes us click, and that's obviously that we are all pretty much faith-based. And even if not, people, the very few that aren't are at least interested in going through that route. And the other is obviously the baseball part of it, that all of us come out here and we love to play. The cool thing that they did out in Xenia last year was they housed us all in dorms for the first week and a half. So we kind of were with the team for 24 hours the first week before games started. And it really allowed for the teammates to be able to come closer and have those bonds build very easily.
Now, when you talk about how it's you having the faith base, and obviously everybody knows Athletes in Action, it's a faith-based team. Take us through, how is that different from, you go to University of Redlands.
Mm-hmm.
How is this experience playing with a team where maybe not everybody's the same maturity-wise in faith, but everybody's coming here with the expectation at least to grow faith? Take us through, how is the locker room different? How's the teammates different? If you can explain a little bit about that.
Oh man, it is a completely different experience when you're at a place such as a public school out in California compared to a very faith-based organization team here. I mean, the locker room in itself, it seems to be just a whole different atmosphere, and it's a lot easier for guys to click. It's a lot less chaos that happens, a lot less like friction between players, and it's just kind of naturally smoother, I would say.
Now, when you have a faith-based team, take us through when you were at Xenia last year. That was the Scouts, correct?
That is correct.
And there's Smith with a strikeout to ring up Nick Brooks, the first baseman. And up to bat is Preston Pavlik, the right fielder. When you go through the summer, is it difficult? I guess the question that I'm trying to ask here is it difficult sometimes to stay focused on baseball? I mean, obviously it's good things going on, growing in faith. That's the most important thing. But is it a little difficult, or maybe different, I should say, than a normal season with that faith exponent, already knowing that you have the expectation that you do want to grow in your faith here?
Not really, in spring ball for all of us back home. I mean, we're going through 4, 5, 6, 7 classes at a time, along with having our baseball games on top of that. And that I feel like that the faith component of this, where the team kind of meets with a chaplain, goes over things for a couple hours each day, learning about our faith and learning how to grow in our faith. It almost takes that component of it to where it's kind of normal for us to be in a classroom setting for a couple hours and then to come out here and be ready to play some ball after that. It's almost continues in that flow. And actually, when I go back on campus, it's helped me to learn how to control my body to where I can sit for a few hours before a game and not have to be amped up and wired the whole time. I can actually sit down and focus on some stuff before having to come out here to the field and play some really good talent.
Now, I've seen you in the locker room. You kind of talked about being amped up. I've seen you in the locker room. You like to read. Is that correct?
Not too much, actually. It's sort of an off and on thing. I like reading books that have good stories.
What's your favorite?
Lately I've been reading the Mortal Instruments series, which has been something new that it has been given to me actually by my girlfriend back home. That is her actual favorite book series, and so I picked it up and was like, yeah, I'll give it a try. And so I've been going through that, and it's actually a really good read so far.
And there's a hit out to Priest in center field, and Priest's going to get under that. And Bull's going to have to make his way back to first as he was trying to tag up there. Now, do you have a specific pregame routine?
I actually do.
And take us through that. How is that as Blake Binfield comes up here to hit the DH out of Middle Tennessee?
So for my personal pregame, usually I start about an hour and a half before, which is a little different for us because with our team here, at least, we've been getting here about 2.5 to 3 hours before the game. So I've had a little bit of extra time on my hands before I actually have to get ready. But about an hour and a half before the game, I start to go through a playlist of my music and stretching out. And it's typically a lot of faith-based music. Actually, it's something that I picked up from Matt Barkley when he was at USC. He used to, before football games, he would actually go outside of the Coliseum and he would listen to a certain playlist of like his favorite like Christian rock songs, and that would get him ready to play his game before he would go out and stretch. And so I picked that up from him, and so I do that for about a half hour before I go out, and I start to get a light jog in. Go out for a full stretch routine. That takes about 20 minutes or so. And then I like to get in with our trainers here and get a good stretch in before the game. A little bit extra stuff that maybe I can't do just on my own. Helps having an extra pair of hands sometimes. So that'll take me about to the half-hour mark where I'll start playing catch, and that'll take me about 20 minutes or so, getting a good long toss session in. I like going typically out to about the center field fence and to get my arm really warmed up. And that'll take me right into my bullpen, right into the game.
That sounds like a pretty good pregame routine.
It's very, very strict. I've developed it over like the last 10 years or so as being a pitcher.
Last 10 years.
Yep.
So when you think of your future at baseball, what year are you going to be again next year at University of Redlands?
This will be my senior year.
Senior year. What kind of the thought process goes in that as you approach your senior year, and what goes through your head?
I mean, obviously as a senior, you kind of look to be one of the captains of the team. So you know that this summer is like your last summer to really develop your maturity and your leadership skills to be able to go out and lead a team of an incoming freshman class along with everyone else who's a few classes below you and typically looks up to you.
And then hit out to Mitch at short, flips to Mitchie. And that's going to do it for the top half of the fifth here, as the Miners take the lead on a leadoff triple by Quinn Cotton. And that's going to be an out. And that's going to take us to the top half of the fifth. And Noah, if you don't mind, would you mind sticking around for the bottom half of the fifth?
I would love to.
All right, when we come back, Noah Jones is going to still be with us. 2-1 is the score as the Miners take back the lead here in the top half of the fifth. We'll be back. And we're back here in the bottom half of the fifth. Preston White from Masters University here to take his cut. The first time he flew in last night here to play this summer for Chinooks. If that name sounds familiar, that's because he was here last year. He's able to bring some of that summer experience as he flies that out. Shortstop, Boston Bulls calling his teammates off, and that's going to do it. Noah Jones still with us. So, Noah, you kind of talked about the process of going through a senior year, and I kind of just talked about Preston White. How do you take the experience you had summer last year and put it into play this summer?
So summer experience is its own little niche that you kind of have to pick up. It's not as much coaching necessarily that goes on. You get thrown in with a brand new coach who maybe doesn't see you all that much. So it takes on a whole lot of leadership for yourself. Actually, you have to really know what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are coming in, and really just be able to apply those, be able to communicate well with your new coaching staff. Really where you like to play, where you fit in well in the lineup.
And there's a drive out to right field for Justin Gomez. And that's going to be caught by the right fielder, Preston Pavlica. What a play. And right fielder's Gomez thought he had extra bases.
That's
the
a
right
great
fielder
catch
thought
right up
otherwise.
against the wall like that.
So as Noah, you were kind of talking about the experience last year with Xenia. Is that experience you think different in terms of, obviously the location's different, but what can you kind of take from what you learned last summer at Xenia, and kind of put it into play this summer?
I mean, in summer ball, you experience how you work well, and really it translates immensely between not only summer to summer, but going back into from summer to your spring ball season. I know that last summer I learned a lot of different things from just guys around the country that I was able to take back to my program back at home and apply to myself in the spring season. It made me a better player all around.
And we hear a lot about the Alaska League. You know, obviously, when did your season end?
It ended about a month ago.
About a month ago. When you come here, how is it difficult to kind of, there's new coaching, there's new teammates. Is it different to kind of get out of that college mentality of the team you used to be playing with and put it into play here?
Not really. I mean, you trust the guys behind you that they're going to be making the plays. It's always the same game that you're playing. It's just It's just new faces that are going to be behind you. Obviously, everyone's got their own talents and skills, but you got to.
And there's a drive in the left field by Luke Coffey. Well, that's going to be caught by the left fielder, Quinn Cotton. And that's going to do it for the bottom half of the fifth. But I know before we leave, just to finish that thought you were talking about.
It's just the different faces that are behind you, and everyone's got their own kind of skill set out there. But it's always going to be the same game, and you got to trust that the guys behind you have as much talent as you think that they do, and a lot of the times that they prove that they do.
In short, baseball is baseball, no matter where you go.
That is true.
No, I want to thank you. I'm sure you'll be up here a lot more in season comes. I want to thank you for coming up here and spending part of your game here with us.
Hey, anytime.
And that's Noah Jones, your Chinook starting pitcher. When we come back, it's going to be the top half of the sixth. And as we come back, there's a dribbler out to first base. Hayden Mixon could have corralled that as Justin Ammons is able to get on base. New pitcher for your Chinooks, Tyler Yoshihara from Sonoma College is on for your Chinooks. Up to bat is Oscar Marchena. Oscar Marchena grounded out in his last plate appearance as Ammons takes his lead. Yoshihara with the pitch. Swing and a miss. As Marchena down in an 0-1 hole. Yoshihara has played left field the past two games. Done relatively well up there. I was talking to him beforehand the game. He was saying that the hardest part was swinging for the first time in a few months, as would be expected. But he handled left field well, handled like a champ. Was able to hold his own out there, as we expect from anybody here in the Alaska Baseball League to hold their own wherever they're playing the game we call baseball. And Ammons is going to steal. Gomez hops up to throw, and the call is safe as Ammons steals second. Marchena now a 1-1 count against Yoshihara. Runner in scoring position now as Ammons steals second. Marchena digs in, 1-1. No outs here on the top of the sixth. And Yoshihara misses high again. That one's down low for ball 3. 3-1 count, no outs, top of the sixth. Miners in control, 2-1. 5 hits on 2 earned runs. Yoshihara digs in, hitters count, the pitch. And there's a fly ball, that's going to escape us. To even the count, to make it a full count here. Yoshihara looking for a strikeout here. 3-2 pitch. And Marchena can lay off, and that's going to be a walk for Yoshihara. And Zach Shardley, the catcher, comes on here with runners on first and second. Zach Shardley ripped a double in the 4th inning. And is credited with the first RBI of the game in the 2nd inning as he got a single to give the Miners their first lead of the game at 1-0. Now runners on first and second. Ammons at second. Marchena at first. And that's going to be a bunt laid down by Shardley. Yoshihara fields it. Yoshihara over to first to Mixon, and that's going to be an out. But Shardley does his job. As Ammons and Marchena both advance. Brandon Chinea, the second baseman now. And that's a strike 1 from Yoshihara. Misses on the outside for ball 1. Going to even up to count 1-1. Runners on second and third here for Chinea. Chinea 0 for 2 so far. 1-1 count. Misses down low again. Gomez able to keep that ball in front of him, make it a 2-1 count now. There's a swing and a miss by Chinea. Yoshihara goes upstairs as Chinea takes the bait. Even up the count 2-2. Yoshihara, 2-2 count, gets the signs from Gomez in the squat. 1 out, top of the 6th. 2-1 game for the Miners. Here comes the pitch. Yoshihara misses down low to make it a full count now. 3-2. So far in this game, nothing too major in terms of hits. Pitch from Yoshihara. And Chinea just gets wood on that as he fouls that off behind the backstop. Chinook fans came out in full force for this home opener, as it is a beautiful night here in Chugiak, Alaska. And there's a rip by Chinea in the left field. And White's going to be there, and he's going to have to throw home. But too late, as Justin Ammons comes in to score for the Miners to give them a 3-1 lead. Up to bat now, the top of the order for the Miners, Quinn Cotton. left fielder out of Grand Canyon University. Yoshihara, the pitch. Tried for the curve, hangs it too high. Marchena still stands at second here with 2 outs in the top half of the 6th. Miners can still put up a run if things go their way here. Cotton had a triple in the 5th inning to lead things off on the first pitch of that. Yoshihara missed it down low again. The pitch to Gomez. 2-0 here, 2 outs, top of the 6th. Yoshihara, the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss by Cotton. Makes it a 2-1 count now. Cotton was not happy with that swing as he just missed that curveball. And that misses the backstop. It's going to come to the backstop. And Marchena is going to advance from second to third on a wild pitch. 3-1 count now. Cotton, 3-1 count. And that's going to miss on the outside to put runners on the corners here. 2 outs for Austin Bull, the shortstop out of Grand Canyon University, located in Phoenix, Arizona. Marchena leads off from third. Cotton at first. There's a strike 1, Yoshihara. On 1 count, 2 outs. Just missed on the outside for ball 1. 1-1 count now for Bull, the shortstop. Throws over to Cotton, keeps him honest over there. No action so far for either bullpens, as we have to assume Yoshihara will not go the distance in this game, considering he came in on relief. 1-1 pitch, and Bull just gets the tip of that, fouls it off to the backstop. 1-2 count now, 2 outs, top of the 6th, 3-1's the score, Miners in control. Runners on the corner. Gomez gets his signs from the pitching coach, Chris Beck, and Gomez signals them. He relays those signs to the pitcher, Tyler Yoshihara from Panoma. Yoshihara throws back to Cotton, as Cotton urgently wants to dig for second here for a stolen base. Yoshihara, 1-2. And the pitch. And Cotton throws, and now we have a pickle. Schmitz. And Cotton drives back, but the tag was applied by Schmitz. Run does not cross. And the Chinooks get out of that, allowing only 1 run. At the end of the top half of the 6th, 3-1's the score, as the Miners had another run. When we come back, bottom half of the 6th, your Chinooks are going to be up. Alex Schmitz up to bat, down quickly in an 0-2 hole. And the pitch misses on the outside. And Schmitz is going to get rung up by LeBrun, the Miners lefty. Up to bats, top of the order here, Micah Prees, the Point Loma center fielder. Stands to the plate with one out here. In the bottom of the sixth, 3-1's the score. Miners in control. Pitch from LeBrun. And Prees going to hit that up the middle, and that's going to be a single to center. And that's going to be a base runner for Levi Gilcrease, the right fielder.
At the plate, for your Chinooks, number 10, Levi Gilcrease.
Prees takes his lead on LeBrun. The Miners pitcher. One out here, bottom of the sixth. The throw. Misses on the outside, ball one. Brown throws over to Prees at first. One 0 count to Gilcrease. And Gilcrease rips that in right field. The right fielder, Preston Pavlica's right there to make the catch. Gilcrease got good contact on that. Couldn't make anything of it. Some action going on now down in the Chinook bullpen as a few people are getting warmed up down there. Up to bat now is Alex Crotty, the DH. Caught a little bit in the exhibition matchup on Monday. 3 innings to be exact. Face against LeBrun with Micah Prees on first. And LeBrun throws over again to first. Keeping him honest here as a lefty. Doesn't want anything to be stolen on him. As the left-handed pitchers do take pride in that. LeBrun, 1-0. The pitch. Misses down low to make it a 1-0 count. Crotty just finished up his freshman year at Mercer University. You want to be able to tell that by the way he swings the bat. A very seasoned hitter. Hoping to showcase that tonight. And an up-called time before that, as Crotty was able to get that time in before LeBrun threw that pitch. LeBrun looks into Crotty. Prees takes his lead off first. Pitch to Crotty. He throws back over to Prees. As LeBrun does not think Prees wants to stay there on first. One 0 pitch. Prees does steal. Charley up, and Prees is going to get him at second. Prees ends the inning, gets caught, stolen. Charley, the throw up. That's going to do it for the sixth inning. We come back. The Miners up in the top half of the seventh. Top half of the 7th, Austin Bull up for the Miners. Shows bunt, pulls back. Yoshihara in there for strike number 1. Tyler Yoshihara comes back up to pitch the top half of the 7th. Hoping to not allow 1 run like he did in the 6th, and that ball is down low for ball 1 here. It's interesting to think Yoshihara did play left field. Wondering if he brought any of those pitching mechanics out, as he had to throw some balls back in from left to the infield. Misses up high for ball 2. Two one count. The pitch. Just misses up high. 3-1. 3-1 count. The pitch. In there for strike 2 to make it a full count. In between innings, the public address announcer here for the Chinooks mentioned host families and home cooking, and we are very appreciative of those host families that do host the players, as Yoshihara misses down low to put Bull aboard for the top half of the 7th. Nick Brooks, the first baseman, up now. As I was saying, that's one thing that I do love about the Alaska Baseball League is the host families and just the generosity you see up here. Everybody's so nice here in Alaska. It's been amazing. Coming from the Bay Area, California, everybody where I'm from, there's no time to just sit down and relax and enjoy the people and the scenery here in Alaska. That seems that all they do. And it's absolutely a treat to be up here. Not to mention the amazing views, as I'll have the privilege and blessing of being able to do here in this press box for 30 days in the next 2 months and just sit and enjoy these beautiful mountains behind Lee Jordan Field. Nick Brooks up for the Matsu Miners. 3-1 is the score. Miners still in control of this game. It's been a lot better. It's been a more balanced game than last night, as the Miners had a 10-4 lead. Misses inside for ball 1. Last night, Chinooks at this time was on their 4th pitcher, now only on their 3rd. Daniel Sweeney went 3 1/3 inning. Scott Smith came in for relief for him, pitched an inning and 2/3 there. Now Yoshihara pitched an inning, pitched the 6th, and now he's hoping to get through 2 innings. Throws back over, Bull slides in safely to first. As now there's some live action going on as Yoshihara throws back. Live action going on as some arms getting warmed up there in the Chinook bullpen. Have to think if he doesn't come in this inning, he's going to come up in the top half of the 8th. 1-0 is the count here to Nick Brooks. Misses up high for ball 2. Bull takes his lead off first. 2-0 is the count. Pitch from Yoshihara. Swing and a miss by Brooks. Two one count now for the Chinook pitcher, Yoshihara. Brooks was taking some bombs. Yoshihara throws back again. Before this game, I was watching batting practice for the Miners, and Nick Brooks was bombing them away. It seemed like he was hitting the mountain every time in the distance. And that was on full display last night as the Miners put up 10 on your Chugiak Chinooks. But that was just the first game. We don't plan on making that a habit or anything like that. Like I said, the pitching staff seemed to have settled in a lot better this night. Up high to make it a hitter's count again for Brooks. Now what you want to do to a hitter of Brooks' caliber from Gonzaga University, a Bulldog, and he has that mentality here as he takes the field of a Bulldog. 3-1 count. Yoshihara digs in. And the pitch. Brooks swing and a miss. Making a full count now. Now Brooks is going to have to dig deep to battle down. Bull takes his lead off first. Brooks grips the bat tight here for this full count pitch. Yoshihara again throws it back over to Bull. And he must know something we don't know, as he's awfully concerned with that shortstop from GCU over there at first. On deck is Preston Pavlica, Austin Bull's GCU teammate. And he's been a hindrance to this Chinook pitching staff so far through just 2 games here. Bull takes his good lead off first. He does have Yoshihara's attention, as that's 5 pickoff attempts. And here comes a 3-2 pitch. Yoshihara misses down low. That's going to put runners on first and second. Nobody out here as Preston Pavlica comes up to pitch. Excuse me, up to hit. Bull at second, Brooks at first, Pavlica in the batter's box. Yoshihara miss on the outside again. One 0 count. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th. That's fouled off behind us here in the press box. Makes it a 1-1 count. And I seem to have caught a trend here for the Chinook fans. Whenever the public address announcer thanks a sponsor for a foul ball, they chant, "Thank you," for whatever sponsor that is. A nice little touch here for the Chinook, and Bull's going to steal. Gomez pops up, no throw to third. And Bull steals third there to make it runners on the corners. 2-1 count now. Nobody out here. And the Chinooks are in danger of being behind another run or 2 here. Two-one count. Nobody out. Top of the 7th. Yoshihara with a pitch. There's a strike call down low. Pitcher strike there. Evens the count 2-2. Nobody out again. Brooks takes his lead off first. Pavlica digs in, 2-2. Yoshihara with the pitch. And that's going to be to right field. Pavlica with a hit, and Blue's going to come on home to give the Miners a 4-1 lead here. Still nobody out as runners on first and second. As Blake Benefield, the big hitter DH here from Middle Tennessee, comes up to the plate. Benefield stands in. 2 for 3 so far. Yoshihara misses down low. As the Chinook arm down there, I believe that to be J.J. Julian, the hard-throwing flamethrower right-hander. Gets warmed up. Yoshihara, the 1-0 pitch. Up high again for ball 2. Yoshihara getting some support from his pitching coach and head coach, John Groth and Chris Beck from the Chinook dugout. It's been fun to see these coaches interact with these teammates here in these first few days. 2-0 pitch, and there's a swing and a foul ball. Messes with my camera a little bit. Did not appreciate that. And Ty Beck going to get that foul ball. Ty Beck, 13-year-old son of pitching coach Chris Beck. He's been here all his life. And Ryan Beck, who was my broadcast partner last night and who will be my broadcast partner for a good amount of games this summer, has been here 18 years, as he mentioned. Can't believe that. We do thank the Beck family for their amazing just support here. And there's a high foul ball, fly ball for Pavlica. Coffey going to call everybody off, and there's going to be out number 1. And Chris Beck steps out of the Chinook dugout. And there's going to be a pitching change. As Yoshihara gets through an inning and a third, gives up 2 runs on 2 hits with 4 walks, with 43 pitches to his name. And Beck's going to take the ball. And Yoshihara is going to leave with 2 runners to his name on base. And we have a pitching change. J.J. Julian from Southern Wesleyan University. I finally figured that name out. Southern Wesleyan University. The 6'3" right-hander. And we'll take a short break. But when we come back, J.J. Julian on the mound for your Chinooks. In the pitch for your Chugiak Chinooks, J.J. Julian from Southern Wesleyan University. His first batter he'll face, Justin Ammons, a left-handed center fielder from Tennessee. Julian looks into his batter and the pitch. Strike 1 for Julian. And that's what we like to see. A 1 count. 1 out here in the top half of the 7th. In there for strike number 2. Oh, 2 pitch now for Ammons. 1 out here. Top of the 7th. Julian, 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. Down low for ball 1. Ammons was able to lay off that one. Julian came here with his teammate, Mike Batten, and I can tell you from personal experience, those two are a handful when you put them together. Great guys overall, though, not going to lie. 1-2 pitch, 1 out here. And Ammons again able to lay that off. It has been interesting to see the groups form here. Obviously, we're all teammates. We're all brothers in Christ. But it has been interesting to see the pitchers kind of form their little ragtag group. Then you have the catchers and the middle infielders, the corner infielders. And then there's me all by myself in the broadcast booth. But don't worry, I got a FaceTime to keep me company with my mom. Most of the time, unless she's busy. 2-2 count here. And Julian rings up Ammons for the second out of the inning here. What a curveball throw by Julian. That's a refreshing, that's a good sign of things to come here for Julian, as that's 2 away now. For your Chinooks, Oscar Marchena comes up to face Julian here. Marchena had a little bit of trouble last night fielding third base. Now, as a Chinook fan, I had no trouble with that, but as a baseball fan, it did make me worried about what was going on there on the third base side. I think he had about 3 errors to his name in the third inning of the game, where the Chinooks put up 4 to take the lead. Ultimately, that was the last they scored that game, as they went on to lose 10-4. As Julian puts that in for strike 1 here to make it a 1-1 count. Two outs, top of the 7th. 4-1 game for the Miners. Runner on scoring position at second, looking to take advantage again. And Julian, that curveball is in good use tonight. And that is ready to rock and roll, as he's laid that in there again for strike number 2. 1-2 count. Julian looks into Marchena. Gets a sign from Gomez. Julian. And there's a swing and a miss, and the runners don't matter, as Julian comes in and does his job. Back-to-back strikeouts, keeps it at 4-1. When we come back, Chinooks up, bottom of the 7th. But before we leave, you know what to do. It's the middle of the 7th. It's a 7th inning stretch. And we hope that you stretch during this inning, get a breather, get a drink, get a snack, as we have 2.5 innings left to play here that are sure to be filled. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. It is a little low octave here for me, folks. Root for the Chinooks. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. One of the greatest treats of all time in baseball is a 7th inning stretch. I look forward to singing that with you. I promise I won't go too high, as I have not had a chance to warm up yet. And when we come back, I know, never mind, we're going to keep it here, as Alex Crotty's ready to hit. And I didn't even get a chance to stretch.
716-464 and 716-335. We've got 716-335. You're on your way to Jalapenos Mexican restaurant with a $10 gift card.
Alex Crotty stands in against LeBron. Crotty digs in against LeBron. Crotty going to sing that to the third base. Marchini going to throw to first. And that can't be fielded by the first baseman, Brooks. And we have a leadoff base runner, finally, for your Chinooks.
For your Chinooks, number 21, Hayden Mixon.
Hayden Mixon up now for your Chinooks. Oh, 1 count now. Chinooks finally have the opportunity here with the leadoff base runner. A 1 count, the pitch. Swing and a miss by LeBron. Oh, 2 count for LeBron. To Mixon. Taken outside for ball 1. Taking it to a 1-2 count here. Crotty takes his lead up first. LeBron. To Mixon. Taken down low for ball 2. Mixon, a LSU Eunice college athlete. He did well this season. As his season ended a few weeks ago. We're lucky to have him here. in a Chinook uniform. Not the same colors as the purple and gold, but still we're lucky to have them. And that's down low to make it a full count now. And LeBron, for the first time it seems like all game, in some real trouble as he has not walked anybody yet. Has 5 strikeouts to his name, has only allowed 3 hits here. Through 6 innings pitched. LeBron, full count, the pitch. And there's a foul ball out of the stadium by Mixon.
And that foul ball sponsored by Gavin Reed of Edward Jones Financial Investments.
And there's another Chinook thank you to the sponsors here at Lee Jordan Field. Three-two count. Crotty takes lead at first. LeBron. To Mixon. And there's another foul ball almost exactly in the same place. And we're getting another thank you here from Chinook fans. Right on cue. There it is. Three-two count again. LeBron. Crotty still at first, hoping to get in LeBron's head a little bit. Throw to Mixon, and Mixon's going to dribble it out to right, but nothing going on as Pavlica's there on right. Crotty's going to have to scurry on over to first base. Up to bat now. Brandon Mitchie from down under Australia with 1 out and a runner on. And Charlie, the catcher, out to talk to his pitcher. And LeBron's coming up on 85 pitches pitched so far in this game. As early on in the season, I doubt the coaching staff really wants to work his arm so bad. He is from Gonzaga, up in Spokane, Washington. LeBron, 1 out, bottom of the 7th, throws to Mitchie, and that's right down Broadway for strike number 1. It's interesting to talk to Mitchie with that Australian accent. I have not asked him to talk about the Kangaroos or anything like that, but I sure will, as LeBron throws over to first. LeBron, 0-1 count, 1 out. Mitchie stands in, hitting from the left side. LeBron kicks his leg, and here comes the throw. Mitchie's going to foul that off to the first base side, and Chris Beck almost with the field over there. John Groth on the third base side, giving his support system over there to Mitchie. It's Preston White's on deck from Masters University. 0-2 count to Mitchie. And just on the outside, missed. Good eye there from Mitchie. As I think LeBron on the mound wanted that pitch. 1-2 count now. Crotty still at first, hasn't gone anywhere. Probably wishes he has at least a second by now. LeBron and the stretch. The throw. Swing and a miss by Mitchie. And that's going to be a strikeout for LeBron. That's going to be his 6th strikeout of the game. And here comes Preston White. The Chinook alum, as we could say, here in Chugiak, Eagle River. White digs in, hoping to keep this inning alive. Crotty on first, LeBron on the pitch. White takes that curveball in for strike number 1. As we've seen the curveball become popular in the 7th inning, as J.J. Julian in the top half used it twice to get 2 outs. Now LeBron's bringing it back. The Gonzaga pitcher. The leg kick and the throw. And there's a hit to the shortstop. Bull over to Brooks. And that's going to do it for the bottom half of the 7th. When we come back, Miner's going to come up in the top half of the 8th. Score is 4-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. We'll be back for Chinook Baseball. Top of the 8th, J.J. Julian still in the pitch for Chinooks against Zach Shardley, the catcher. Misses down low for ball 1. That skips away from Gomez. Julian with the pitch. And that's going to be into Gilcrease to right. Gilcrease camps under that, and that's going to do it for out 1. Number 5, Brandon Chinia from Tennessee coming up now. The second baseman for the Miners. As he walks over to the third base coach to get his instructions for this at-bat. Julian into the windup, the pitch. And Chinia showed bunt, pulled back in time for the ball. And that one's going to be driven into right field for a foul. Some action now going down in the Miners bullpen. As LeBron so far around that 90 pitch limit so far. Obviously, there's no limit, but I'd assume the coach does have somewhat of a limit. And that's hit to Mitchie. Mitchie fields that over to Mixon. And there's out number 1.
Batting for the Miners, number 9, Quinn Cotton.
Out to bat now. Quinn Cotton. One-two count now for Julian. Top of the 8, 2 outs. Julian to Cotton. Oh, Julian's wondering where that missed, and so was about the 100 fans here in attendance rooting for the Chinooks. Makes it a 2-2 count. Two-two. Julian into the windup, the pitch. And that's going to be another hit out to Gilcrease and right. Gilcrease got a camp bat under that one. And that's going to do it for the top half of the 8. Julian, a 1-2-3 inning. He's retired. His last 5 batters face. When we come back, it's going to be the bottom of the 8th for your Chinooks. And as we come now to the bottom of the 8th, Justin Gomez, the catcher, coming up. 6 outs here for the Chinooks to work with to make up 3 runs at least to keep this game going. New pitcher for the Miners. Did not get his name or number. Get that to you as soon as possible. And that's in there for strike number 1 to Gomez. Oh, 1 pitch. That's outside for ball number 1. Gomez fouls that off to make it 1-2. Zach Hardy is the new pitcher for the Miners as he comes in to try to keep things going well for the Miners so far, and that ball is skipped in the dirt for ball number 2. Steaming up the count 2-2. Hardy, a Chandler Gilbert Community College athlete. He's from Mesa, Arizona. As Gomez is going to fly that out to left field. Quinn Cotton He camps out under that. To make it out, number 1, Zach Carty. This is going to be a junior next year. Just finished up his sophomore year at Chandler Gilbert Community College. A native of Mesa, Arizona. Zach Hardy's going to be playing baseball at New Mexico, the Lobos. Excuse me, New Mexico State, the Lobos. So up to bat now is Luke Coffey, the third baseman. One-0 pitch from Hardy. Miss on the outside. Gets it on the outside. Strike number 1. And the 6'4", 205, Zach Hardy does. Also plays third base. 1-1 pitch. Just on the outside for ball 2. Hardy stands in. Base and Coffey. 2-1. 1 out here, bottom of the 8th, 4-1 game for the Miners. Coffey's going to foul that off to even the count 2-2. Alex Schmitz stands on deck for your Chinooks. And Coffey again, that's going to be out to split the outfield, but Cotton's going to call off. No, they're both calling for it. Ultimately, Justin Ammons, the center fielder, takes care of that one for out number 2. Shortstop Alex Schmitz stands up to face Hardy. So far, 2 strikeouts in this game. Nothing outside of that for Schmitz. Schmitz, this is his first game for your Chinooks, as he flew in last night. Schmitz, Oral Roberts University college athlete. And swing and a miss for strike 1. Hardy, 0-1, 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th, 4-1 game with the pitch. On the outside corner for strike 2. The ump gives that signal. Schmitz retightens his batting gloves, regrips the bat, refocuses his helmet as he steps into the plate. Facing the 6'4", righty, going to New Mexico State, Zach Hardy, 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss by Schmitz, and that's going to be the hat trick for Schmitz in this game. 3 appearances, 3 strikeouts. Zach Hardy does his job in the relief appearance as he gets back-to-back outs for 1-2-3 inning. J.J. Julian going to come back out for the top of the 9th for the Chinooks, and why wouldn't he? He's been so far 5 up, 5 down for him. And when we come back, the Miners going to look to tack on some insurance runs for the bottom of the 9th as the Chinooks look to keep it a 3-run game led by J.J. Julian when we come back. Ninth inning baseball here for your Chinooks. J.J. Julian out of Southern Wesleyan University out there for the ninth again. Facing off Austin Bull, the shortstop for the Miners. There's a quick 0-1 now for Julian. Had to do some camera work in between that. I apologize for the duct tape on the left side of your screen. And that's in. Ball number 1. Curveball again, working for Julian as he's up now to a 1-2 count. Austin Bull, between this night and last night, has been awfully good for the Miners so far. And another curveball. No, not a strike, and that looked good. That's why I'm in the press box, not out on the field in the ump gear. 2-2 count. Julian, hoping to get out of this inning. 2-2 pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss by Bull. Julian doesn't need the curveball anyway as he throws that fastball right by him. For a strikeout swinging by Austin Bull. That's going to make it 3 strikeouts now for Julian. Through 24 pitches. Julian's been on fire as that's his 6th batter in a row retired. Has had no trouble so far. And that's typically the cue for when the broadcaster jinx it. Swing and a miss by Nick Brooks, but Julian's going to say no to that, at least so far. Julian, the 0-1 pitch, 1 out, top of the 9th. Goes down in the dirt. That skips to Gomez. And Brooks barely taps that, and he sends that flying. End of the first base side of things. One, 2 count. Julian looks to retire his 7th batter in a row and 4th strikeout. Swing and a miss by Julian, and he does it again. And that's 7 batters in a row. And these Miners hitters could not figure out the Southern Wesleyan right-hander. And I know Julian's doing all the work, but it seems ever since I figured out how to say that last name, those products of Wesleyan Universities are putting up some work as Julian puts that curveball in. And he is putting these Miners to sleep with his showcase of curveball, then a fastball, then back to curveball, and curveball again. And another curveball just misses on the outside. I'm just going to say no go to that. 1-1 pitch. Coming up now for Julian with 2 outs away in the top of the 9th. Julian, 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss again by Preston Pavlica. And Julian looking for his 8th batter in a row and his 5th strikeout. Can he put it? 1-2 pitch. 2 outs, top of the 9th. Julian, the late kick, the pitch. Swing and a miss by Pavlica. Julian, what an outing. 8 batters. 8 batters gone back to the dugout. 8 batters. 5 of them on strikeouts. And when we come back bottom of the 9th, it's rally cap time, folks, as your Chinooks have to make up a 3-run deficit to keep this game going. When we come back, bottom of the 9th, Miners up 4-1. Zach Carty going to come back on the mound for your Miners. When we come back, Chinooks have some work to do. And as the final countdown by Europe slowly goes away, the Chinooks realize the final countdown on this game is also happening. Micah Prees, the center fielder, 2 for 3 so far. He has 2/3 of the Chinooks hit so far. Stands to the plate against Hardy. Hardy with the pitch. It's on the outside for ball 1. One 0 count. Bottom of the ninth. 4-1 score. Favor the Miners. Prees fouls that off. Gonna mess with my camera again. Just got to fix 2. That's okay. 1-1 count. Hardy looks into Charlie. Behind the plate on the squat. Give them the sign. 1-1 pitch. Coming up from Hardy. Here it comes. And Prees going to foul that away on the left side. As Ty Beck comes and gives the up some more balls to work with here. And there's another thank you by the Chinook fans to this time 341. I will be honest, I do not know what that is, but I'll be sure to find that out. 1-2 count now in favor of the Miners pitcher. Prees stands in the pitch. Swing and a miss by Prees, and Hardy puts Prees away swinging. That's Hardy's second strikeout and 1 1/3 innings. Not as impressive as our boy J.J. Julian, but still something to hang his hat on so far. The 2-hole hitters is Levi Gilcrease. Stands to the plate now against Hardy. Hoping to put some base runners on for Crotty. And ultimately, for Hayden Mixon to do some damage here. Gilcrease stands in. And there's first pitch swinging out to center field. Ammons goes and gets that. And he's going to put that away. Gilcrease. First pitch swinging flies out to center field. And it's the last hope here for the Chinooks. Alex Crotty, the DH. Looks to keep this inning alive and ultimately the game alive for the Chinooks. 4-1 game for the Miners. Chinooks have not been able to muster really anything so far this game, but they're hoping to change that fortune now. Hardy looks into Charlie. Gets the sign. Here it comes. Lays off on the outside. Ball number 1. Hayden Mixon stands on deck, hoping to get one more crack at Hardy. Hardy, 1-0 pitch to Crotty. Takes it down low, ball 2. 2-0 now. 2 outs, 4-1 score again for the Miners. Hardy looks in, 2-0 now to Crotty. A pitch. Crotty's going to fly that out. And that goes right over my head. And it shakes again. That's okay. That means Crotty was just on that one. He's going to foul that one away. Just make it a 2-1 count. Crotty needs to get aboard to keep the Chinooks alive. Hardy looking to not let that happen. 2-1 pitch, 2 outs. Crotty swinging a miss, makes it an even 2-2 count now. Hardy now 1 strike away from getting the Miners to a 2-0 start. Chinooks need a base runner to stop from the fall to 0-2 here. Hardy shakes off his catcher. Gets the sign he likes. 2-2 pitch, 2 outs. 4-1 score for the Miners. 1 strike and it's over. Swing and a miss by Crotty. And that's going to do it. The Miners take this game 4-1. And the Miners are now at a 2-0 record. Chinooks fall to 0-2. And as we do in every game, good sportsmanship. When we come back, we'll have a little post game for you, analyzing what went wrong and what did go right here in this 4-1 loss. That'll be in just a moment, folks, when we come back. Hope you stick along. And here we are for the Chinook postgame. 4-1 loss for your Chinooks on just 3 hits, 3 errors though. And it was kind of the same narrative as last night against the Miners when we lost 10-4. Really, our bats could not get cooking. Looking at the score sheet now for your Chinooks, Mike Capri's at the top of the lineup, was able to go 2 for 4, but had 2 strikeouts. Other than that, only Alex Karate got on base. And that was really the narrative this game, as the Miners, pitchers between Calvin LeBrun and Zach Hardy, really could not find out these pitchers. We saw the same narrative last night against Andrew Nardi. Tomorrow against the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, we're hoping to break that trend. Look at the Matsu Miners score sheet. Really, it was an up-and-down affair. Really, some critical hits and some solid at-bats here for the Matsu Miners. The pitching staff, though, Calvin LeBrun, 7 innings pitched, only 3 hits, only allowed 1 run, as the Miners had a few errors there. But something to take away from this game, I would say a big difference from this last night to this night. Last night, so many different errors by the Chinooks infield and outfield. A 4-1 loss, obviously it is a loss. But losing 4-1 versus losing 10-4, you can take some pride in that. Again, it's still early, only in the second game. Now, you don't want to get into a habit of saying, oh, well, it's just a loss. But you can at least say there were some improvements from last night to this night. Looking ahead now, tomorrow, Friday, it's the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, 7 p.m. start up in Anchorage. And on Saturday, we're going to go back up to the same stadium and face the Bucks. And on Sunday, the Chinooks have a day off, the first day off of the 2017 ABL season. That's going to do it for me tonight, folks. So far, it's been good. 2 losses. Hoping to break that trend tomorrow. But I'm Caleb Duarte, the voice of the Chinooks, and hoping to have better fortune tomorrow. Anyway, thanks for having me on your broadcast, and thanks for having me in tonight. Have a great night. God bless.